We're going to start in the United States, where in a deeply divided country, there were predictably mixed reactions to the much-awaited halftime show at last night's Super Bowl, when Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny delivered his set, making history by performing it almost entirely in Spanish. Bad Bunny, who was the world's most played artist in 2025, that's according to Spotify, did choose to stay one line in English, shouting, "God bless America," before listing nations of Central, South and North America as dancers carried their flags. Well, as the show ended, he held up a football to the camera. It had a message that was also on the scoreboard: the only thing more powerful than hate is love. Well, on Truth Social, President Donald Trump called the show absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. Let's hear the views now of some of those who watched Bad Bunny's performance from his hometown in Puerto Rico. Take a listen.
I danced, I screamed, I cursed about everything just to be cool. Spectacular as always. He surprises us every time he does something. He surprises everyone, and you're going to be surprised too. He's going there, so have a good time over there, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And I'm very proud that someone from Vega Baja has reached such heights, putting the name of Puerto Rico and above all Vega Baja on the map. I'm very proud.
Well, for more on the Super Bowl halftime show, I'm joined now by our former US correspondent, Kethevane Gorjestani. Hi, Kethevane.
Hello.
There was a lot of anticipation coming up to this, wasn't there? And some expectation that he might use it to send some sort of political message. What did you make of it in the end?
Well, look, there was a lot of expectation, and some people may have come away saying, well, he didn't really go overboard with the political message. But when you look closely at his performance, you see that everything from the choice of song, the imagery, the details, the costumes, everything was a political statement, starting with the choice of the Puerto Rican flag. It was not the official Puerto Rican flag. The yellow triangle is actually a light blue shade as opposed to the dark blue. And that is the color of the independence movement for Puerto Rico. So that in itself was already a big political statement. Then you had the whole segment of Bad Bunny dancing with his dancers atop electric poles, some of them exploding. That was a clear reference to the situation in Puerto Rico and the long-running problems with its infrastructure and its electric grid, especially since Hurricane Maria hit back in 2017. And that has caused a lot of political upheaval back in Puerto Rico. But there were plenty of symbolic moments, and some that maybe more Americans could actually understand. One was when Bad Bunny handed over his Grammy trophy that he won just about a week ago to this young boy who was watching him get that Grammy on TV. Now, this was a symbol of you need to follow your dreams, you can do everything, but it was also for many a reference to Liam Conejo Ramos. He's that 5-year-old child who just a few weeks ago was arrested by ICE and became sort of a symbol of the violence of the anti-immigration crackdown in the United States. Really, the whole performance was sort of a love letter to Latino culture, but also to immigrants in the United States, combined with a sort of message of unity. And that was really the grand finale there, with all those flags coming out and Bad Bunny saying, "God bless America," some of the only words he spoke in English, before listing all of the countries of the continent of America. So reclaiming the word America to mean the whole continent and not just the United States. And that football that he's holding, the message on that football was, "Together we are America," meaning we all belong here. All the immigrants from all those different countries in the United States, that is also their country. And the message on the big screen that you mentioned at the end, the only thing stronger than hate is love. Given the current sort of context in the United States and the divisive nature of the context, this performance really, you could say, was probably political from the very first minutes to the very last minute.
And, some people will have loved it. Some, as you say, so divided, the US will not, including Donald Trump, who called it a slap in the face.
He took to his social media platform during the show to blast Bad Bunny and the whole show itself. Absolutely terrible, makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Donald Trump and the whole Make America Great Again movement really have been up in arms against Bad Bunny and his choice as being the headliner for the halftime show. Ever since Bad Bunny was announced as the headliner, and that was months ago. The first real uproar was the fact that he sings in Spanish, and that really didn't sit well with a lot of MAGA supporters, basically saying he should be singing in English, and an act at the Super Bowl should be singing in English. But some actually went further than that, saying that they were not happy because Bad Bunny was a foreign act. A reminder that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and therefore Bad Bunny is an American citizen. And also the fact that over the years, the NFL has many times had foreign headliners, but for the MAGA crowd, those foreign headliners were white and they sang in English. But you had plenty of bands from the UK, for example, like the Rolling Stones, Coldplay, a lot of acts from Canada, like Shania Twain, like The Weeknd, but also acts who were not from the UK or Canada, like Rihanna just 3 years ago. She is from Barbados. And you also had a few years back, Shakira, who's from Colombia. And MAGA World was so angered by the choice of Bad Bunny that they decided to hold their own sort of counter-programming, counter-halftime show. It was organized by TP USA, Turning Point USA. That's the organization of the late Charlie Kirk. They had a full all-white, all-American sort of display of musicians, including Kid Rock. We don't yet have the numbers of the viewers of both the halftime show with Bad Bunny and of the TP USA show, but it is expected that the TP USA concert was probably 4 or 5 million, maybe, whereas the halftime show, some are expecting might have broken some records. We'll have to wait, but it is expected that it's around 120, maybe 130 million. We'll have to wait a few days to get the exact numbers. But clearly, this sort of split-screen moment showed how divided the United States still is, despite that message of unity from Bad Bunny, who wanted to bring everyone together. Not everyone got on that bandwagon, especially not the sort of MAGA part of the United States.